Each and every one of our students had the opportunity to gain real-world exposure through industry placements, helping them to ignite their professional transformation. These experiences have not only sharpened their technical skills, but also enriched their perspectives.
To our dedicated industry partners, thank you. Your unwavering support and collaboration have been key in nurturing open-minded, future-ready professionals.
I now invite you all to enjoy a special behind-the-scene flashback video, a glimpse into the journey, the teamwork, and all efforts that went into preparing the Capstone project. Thank you. Wow, did you see that?
Indeed, rigorous effort. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have the immense pleasure to invite Mr. Yaman Matabudo, CEO of Polytechnics Mauritius, for his address.
Thank you very much. Can I ask everyone to come a little bit closer? It's not getting too close for comfort. You can come. Dr. The Honorable Kaviraj Sharma-Suko, Minister of Tertiary Education, Science and Research. Dr. The Honorable Avinash Ramtohal, who will be joining us very, very shortly, Minister of Information Technology, Communication and Innovation. Mr. Alain Wongso, Commissioner for Information Technology and Others, Rodrigue Regional Assembly. Mr. Navin Singh Jagmohan Singh, Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Tertiary Education, Science and Research. Staff of the Ministry here present, Mrs. Christelle Grandcourt, Departmental Head, Commission for Vocational Training and Others. Mr. Elvinio P.A. Head of HRDC. Rodrigue. Professor Thisan Baoran, Executive Director, MRIC, and previous Chairman of Polytechnics Mauritius. Professor Romina Moï, Commissioner Heck. I can't see her, but I think she's here. Directors and heads of higher education institutions here present. My friends, captains of industry, CEOs, CIOs, staff of Polytechnics Mauritius, dear students, members of the press, distinguished guests, all protocols observed. A very good afternoon to you. I'd like to welcome each and every single one of you to the Ebene Campus of Polytechnics Mauritius, one of the 7 campuses for the 4th edition of the Capstone Showcase, as so well presented by our students. The Capstone Showcase is one of the hallmark events of Polytechnics because it celebrates students, their terminal projects, the fruits of their labor in immersion in industry for 6 months, and the union of students, academia, and industry. Today is particularly special because this capstone takes place during the Holy Week of Education. Our National Research Week, our first unified National Research Week takes place this week, and the Assises currently taking place. First off, I would be remiss in my role if I were not to welcome some special guests. But then, as I would admit to you, everyone here is actually very, very special to Polytechnics. Let me acknowledge the presence of our parent minister, the Honorable Dr. Suko, for his presence as chief guest. He has always been a believer in the Polytechnics, playing a crucial role in tiering and diversifying the higher education landscape. I welcome Dr. the Honorable Avinash Ramtoal. While the Honorable Minister, Dr. Suko, is a figure known to all of us in the HE landscape, this is the first appearance of his to Polytechnics as minister. Amongst us, the honored guest is, the other honored guest is Honorable Dr. Ramtohal, a dear friend and fervent supporter of the Polytechnics. Having certainly signed 2 agreements, which may seem like a past life now, you know, when he was managing director of Oracle and then Aludo here in Mauritius. I also want to acknowledge the presence of Mr. Alain Mongso, Commissioner for IT, and others, and our departmental head in Rodrigue, Mrs. Christelle Grandcourt, and our head of HRDC. Noteworthy here to mention that this is the first participation of our Rodrigue students defending their Viva, and the Rodrigue Regional Assembly has graciously sponsored the air tickets of all 15 students to be among us today. Big wave to the CEOs, CIOs, and tech gurus in the house for their unwavering support to welcome, train, motivate, and recruit our students. Without them, Polytechnics is incomplete. We will need your support again today. If you find interesting projects, and I'm sure you will, please finance the projects to the next level. Please launch the initiatives at the level of employment, and please hire the students on the spot if you feel particularly impressed. This is the whole point of the venue today. So ladies, gentlemen, and friends, the Capstone project is neither a publicity stunt nor is it just a replacement to a dissertation. It is anchored in Polytechnics pedagogy as an artifact to bridge the gap between education and employment. And that be job employment or job seeking or job creating. The Capstone itself is a US import. Dare I say that comes without tariffs. In real terms, the capstone is the final decorative stone completing a building, and that's what it's meant for us. It's merely but a final attempt to ensure that industry is happy, not with the credential, because the credential is not here, but with the competencies that the students possess then and there. Skills mismatch is often a hotly debated topic. While efforts have been many, I think we'll all agree that sometimes the solutions remain elusive. Excuses and explanations abound about the latest that takes place, certainly latest tech that moves too fast, so at best we can only play catch up. Our take on this has been that the race to employment starts from day one at the level of Polytechnics Mauritius. Through many of these instruments, Polyco, Polycas, students who come here, they learn about the culture of Polytechnics. Pas comprend, Polyco, Polycas, speed interviews, many different instruments, mini, major internships, traineeships, all done constantly and consistently through the 2 to 3 years to reduce the gap. Above all, I think we have to chip at the self or impose limitations that we have placed on us in technical education. We have to shatter the norms. Mandates are important. We are here to chase employment and career laddering. We do not pretend to do many things because we can't. Perhaps today, the single biggest metric that we're proudest of is the 98.7% placed in industry for our 1595 graduates that have left our shores already since the birth of Polytechnics, all 98.7 before graduation. Of course, we have to thank the industry partners because that's where they go. While we will say all of this is new, I would recall Jacques Delors chairing the UNESCO Commission in 1996, where the 4 pillars for learning came about: learning to know, learning to do, learning to live together, learning to be. Probably as true today as it was then. As we acknowledge the work of students, once the Honorable Dr. Soukon is going to launch formally the Capstone Showcase, we will slowly be weaving our way to their work on display, and students will be talking to you about their ideas, about their projects, about their prototypes that they've built. Let me remind you that the Polytechnics community is now over 6,000 students spread across the 7 campuses, 2 in Rodrigues campuses, 56 academic skilling programs, 6 clusters: hospitality, nursing, IT, engineering, soft skills, and business. 2,040 active students in IT alone. Hopefully this appeals to the Honorable Minister of IT here present, because a lot of the talent we feel from Mauritius is going to come from here. We have 337 internship partners. Only a few and dear ones are here today. More recently, through the MOUs, this is how we get internationalization here at Polytechnics and many international programs. Recently, we've heard about cabinet clearance for 2 MOUs that we are going to be signing soon: King's College London and Kingston University London. For this, we want to thank our Honourable Minister for taking this to cabinet and getting it all the way through. To come back to Capstone, today we have projects of completing students from Diploma in Cybersecurity, Diploma in Business Computing, and Diploma in Interactive and Digital Media. The Capstone itself started nearly a year ago, and we had a culminating into a panel of judges. Here, for the Viva judges, we have to thank Dayforce, Accenture, Publicis, MTEL, Deloitte, CFAO, PwC, iSpace Technologies, and BWRM. A big round of applause for them, please. We have also included some certificate in IT students today. They have just started, barely a year with us, but they've impressed us already. And we believe they are early innovators, but not ahead of their time, because as we've said, we do not think it is preordained for lower entrance criteria to have lesser and more humble aspirations. Let me share a few of the highlights. As our minister often says, that projects ought to be grounded and match the local context and realities. Our Rodrigan students, to start, exude this best. We have today a secure animal management app that uses GIS live tracking, chatbot support, and livestock database in collaboration with the Commission of Agriculture in Rodrigues. A coral health prediction project developed in a website using machine learning to monitor coral health. In Mauritius, our students have impressed no less. Certificate in IT students, a 1-year program, whose entrance criteria is SC Pass, have come up with a smart home automation project, typically done by Diploma in Emerging Tech students. Some certificate students came up with Customize Your Candle, which is a project which is market ready. Diploma in Digital Media students, many of them, I'll mention a few. UNAIS has partnered with Rays of Hope NGO on empowering the homeless through innovation. Emmanuel explored AR in emerging tech to modernize a woodcraft SME business. Chelsea worked on solving a Bank of Mauritius issue through CyberShield. Fardeen is offering us a rainwater reuse solution for the water crisis. While participating in 10 competitions and winning 6, when I asked him, he said, but it was only 6. It's good to be ambitious, I guess. He's also a runner-up in the Climathon 2022 in Egypt as part of the COP 2027 with his team. Finally, many projects have been developed in collaboration with industry partners. Many different industry partners. TradeSolve, iSpace, Espace Toiture, MGR Printing, La Glace Italiana, Espace Bois, Reef Conservation, mostly SMEs. We have capstone projects that have already been commercialized. EcoGift by Isha, NailView by Isha, Smart Navigator for Supermarket by Ananden and Chitra, Sécurité Connectée by Dharmila, While doing all of this, students have ranked first and second in Innovate 2023, 2024, Innov 8 of BOM, ABSA competition, DigiCup 2024, PwC Ideathon 2023, to mention a few. To conclude, I have to thank many people. First, to all internship partners and to the Capstone judging panel. Today, most of you will be exposed to what has been prepared by our students and our sponsors. This event is an almost fully sponsored event by industry. Here I have to thank iSpace Technologies for the video recording, live streaming on YouTube and Facebook. Lux Collective, so if you see something you don't like on Facebook, it's not us, it's iSpace Technologies. Lux Collective for a very generous financial sponsorship covering all the F&B and culinary items, but that was prepared by our students, which you will be tasting very soon. Special note here to Smith & Girish. Our gratitude goes to Hilton, 20 Degrés Sud, One Piece Croisserie, Pâtisserie Claire, Avena Consultancy, and Kena's Garments. We have many, many friends indeed. Finally, closer to home, thanks to the student ambassadors for the welcoming, filming crew from the Engineering and Digital Media Department, Culinary and F&B from the Students of Tourism and Hospitality, some through on-campus jobs, others volunteering. Our procurement, facilities, and attendance should never be overlooked. Big, big kudos to Nishti and her IT team. The whole IT team, that's both faculty, academic, and student affairs, for burning the midnight oil. And they tell me they work really too hard, yes. So we'll talk to the minister when we have a chance about this. They are the biggest student faculty here, and they make me feel it every single second. I would like to end by telling you that organizing this capstone was also a headache, but hopefully for the right reasons, because all our students are currently in internship, so when you ask them to come, they don't want to. And 31% of this batch is already fully employed, not on internship. So the second reason for not spending as much time as possible here. I guess that's a good thing. Let me thank the honorable ministers for making time, especially during an action-packed National Research Week, and to all the business leaders here. Tomorrow is the finale of the National Research Week, not to be missed, where MRIC, HEC, Open, MIBL, and PML will be organizing. I guess we kept the best for last. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Matabadil, for being our greatest support in our journey with the Polytechnics family. I now have the pleasure to invite Dr. the Honorable Avinash Ramtohal, Minister of Information Technology, Communication and Innovation, to share a few words.
Dr. the Honorable Kaviraj Sharma Sukan, Minister of Tertiary Education, Science and Research, Mr. Alain Wongso, Commissioner for Information Technology and others, Rodrigues Regional Assembly, Mr. Jagmohan Singh, Permanent Secretary, Minister of Tertiary Education, Science and Research, Mr. Yamal Matabadil, Chief Executive Officer, Polytechnics Mauritius, and Departmental Head of Commission for IT and HRDC Commission, the Head of the HRDC Commission, again for training, Rodrigues Regional Assembly, Professor Baran, Executive Director for MRIC. I'm not sure Professor Mui is here. Directors and heads of higher education institutions, captains of the industry, staff of the Polytechnics Mauritius Limited, students of the Polytechnics Mauritius Limited. I see a lot of them with their student engraved on the t-shirt. I think that is engraved on the heart as well. And distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to you. It's a pleasure to be here amongst you, to also meet some old friends. Well, they are old friends, they're not friends who are old, right? And this environment is a very young environment, and it always feels like, very positive to be here. So thank you, Mr. Matabadal, under the leadership also of Dr. Sukon for having created this kind of an environment. I think this institution is a model institution, looking at the contribution that it is making to our human capital in the country and also to the economy. IT is today around 6.4% of the GDP, and we have the mandate to increase it. We all know what is the state of the economy at the moment. And Mauritius, the key resource that Mauritius has is human resources. So we have no other choice but to nurture and harness these resources so that we are able to create the next generation of people who will be contributing actively to our economy. And talking about contribution, I think there's a lot of ways in which people can contribute. Yes, it's a fact, Mr. Matabadal, that you would hardly find an IT graduate or a diploma holder without a job. In fact, employers are actually looking out for them. And this explains, why they are present here today. Right? This is the place where you get the right resources. But there are also many others. But I think this one is really special. And having participated in the Capstone project last year as an invitee, and today in a different capacity, together with my colleague from the cabinet, really gives me an immense pleasure. Yamal and myself, we share our friendly relationship and professional relationship for a long time, and together with Professor Bauren as well and many others. So I thought, it would be a good time for me to come in and share a few thoughts. I'm sure you would be wondering, if his introduction is that long, how long is he going to be speaking for? But no, not too long. We've got other commitments, and I have to rush to Port Louis shortly for an interministerial meeting. But I made it a point to come here from Port Louis, to drive here, and then we'll drive back. I made it a point. Why? Because to me, as Minister for IT, it's a very important forum. It's a place where we are incubating minds. It's a place where co-ideation happens. It's a place where co-creation happens. And it's a place where people learn to work in a team. And a lot of what happens on the wrong side in professional life is because people, they do not really work in teams. And it is important that we learn to do that. Because on our own, we don't stand strong. But when we are part of a team, that's where we are able to contribute. We are able to discover the better of ourselves. And this is where we also learn that our real competition is not the next guy who's got the bigger car, bigger house, bigger land, or is more handsome, or taller, more muscular. The competition really is with yourself. The question, therefore, is what did you do yesterday that will make you better today? And what are you going to do today that will make you better tomorrow than yourself? So this is where the real competition lies. It's with your ego, it's with your procrastination, it's with your inertia. But that needs to be converted into energy. And I would like to talk about a few things with regards to AI before we finish. I'm sure for your capstone projects, a lot of you would have used AI, and dare not say no, because we all know what happens. But it's a good tool. It's a good tool. It's a really good tool. And as far as it works today, with the trolling against people, with naming and shaming and the defaming, I think we've got too used to that. And we need to take a few steps back and think again. What is the kind of environment we really want to produce for our people, for our generations to come, for our future leaders? To me, it is really no-brainer that we have to actually, change our attitude towards the use of social media. And this is where really a lot of crimes are happening. And I'm sure in your capstone projects, and I would really wish that I had some more time to take a look at those projects, because last year they were really, really good. I love them all. But today I will have to really rush back. And but just to tell you that we also need to look into how to really moderate or regulate, if you want, as a stronger word, the use of AI. It's really good, as we said. There are some other bad things. We prefer being on the right side than on the wrong side. Forget not the European Union has already established its EU AI Act. And the UK is taking a similar direction. Therefore, if we are to really harness it and to ensure that the industry leverages AI in the right manner, then we will need to actually think about moderating or regulating this tool. In our forthcoming blueprint, there's quite a lot of it that you will get to see. And in our forthcoming blueprint as well, there'll be quite a number of things also around testing. when we are doing testing of software, especially AI modules. And for those of you who've worked on your capstone projects or who will be working on your capstone projects later, these are some good ideas to consider. And on this note, I would like to wish all those who are competing on this project all the very best. And I hope you're able to attract some angel investors. And we are, as the Minister of IT, organizing a hackathon. You'll get to hear about that soon. And that could be, Yamal, that could be a good entry as well for your capstone projects, because then you can actually enhance it further. And you'll be in an environment, you'll be getting more coaching and mentoring and access to a lot of tools. I'm sure you have access to the tools here, but there'll be even a broader spectrum of tools that you can access and, again, try to implement your ideas on. On this note, once again, thank you very much and have a good afternoon.
Thank you, Dr. the Honorable Avinash Ramtol, for being a true inspiration to our IT students. We kindly request you to please remain on stage as one of our classmates will present you a token of appreciation on behalf of Polytechnics Mauritius. Now, with utmost honor, I invite our chief guest of the day to share a few words. Let's welcome Dr. the Honorable Kaviraj Sharma Sukun, Minister of Tertiary Education, Science and Research.
Mr. Yamal Matabadal, CEO of PML, the Permanent Secretary of my ministry, Mr. Jagmohan Singh, Mr. Wongsu from Rodrigues, Professor Bauran from the Executive Director from of MRIC, all the heads of institutions, students, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. A pleasure to be here. Let me start by congratulating the students and all the lecturers, all the academics who have been supporting them. Congratulations for completing the project and for the hard work that goes in. I will take you back to 2005 when this place was just starting, 2005, the Cyber City. The companies that came at that time, they had one big issue. It was poaching, because we didn't have sufficient number of employees. And what was happening is that they were going to poach employees from their competitors. And at a certain point in time, it became so harsh that they went to see the government to do something about it. And eventually, I was the manager at that time at the HRDC. The file came to me, what to do. to fight poaching or to do something else. So we sat down. I didn't believe in fighting poaching. I mean, it was useless. So what we did was to flood the market with skills. I remember having most of the employers coming to the boardroom. We sat down and designed the first level of course that would allow those students completing O-level at that time to follow that course and to find jobs. And I can tell you that the employers at that time were really keen. We sat down within a short period of time. We developed the curriculum. And we trained at that time around 2,700 people to flood the market and to reduce the poaching. And that was something that really helped the industry. But again, we wanted to pursue that at higher level, and it became more and more difficult for the simple reason that the IT companies we were having, they were not using the same software. They were not using the same technology. You can have 10 different IT companies, but they're all using completely different technology, completely different software. That's why it's important that industries, I see a number of people, a number of people from the industry, that they need to open the doors. There is no institution, no university, no institution that can afford all the technology that the industry has, that can afford the software that the industry has. That's why it is important for the industry to open up and to allow our students placement opportunities, and like here, to do their project. The government is investing around 15 to 16 years in a child, from pre-primary up to undergraduate level. Can the industry invest for 3 to 6 months additional to make them employable? That's my appeal to the industry. The government willingly invest for 15 years, 16 years. Sorry. Why can't the industry do that additional 3-month training, 6-month training? I see many captains, well-respected CEOs here. So I'm making an appeal that they give that training. I would also like to, I would also like to inform you that together with Business Mauritius, we are having a national committee on curriculum development, because I would like the industry to take part in the design of the curriculum. So we are setting up a national committee, a national advisory committee on curriculum development together with the industry, the academia. On top of that, we are also ensuring that that link between industry and academia is strengthened. For example, the Capstone project. For research, we would like industry, like in what's happening in other countries, right? Industry to take part in the processes in our higher education institution, to invest in research, which is not happening, unfortunately. Mauritius is far behind the international average in terms of spending on research. And we have priorities. Water resource management is a big issue, both in Mauritius and in Rodrigues. And we would like the industry to work with academia to come up with solutions for that. Waste management, waste is gold, but we would like to have specialists to come and see. For example, now we have a TWINEX project MRIC is doing, to see how we can transform the waste. Many of you go to the seaside, you will see the seaweed there. And what is happening to the seaweed? There is somebody collecting it and throwing it in the bin. But seaweed in itself can be an industry. So we would like the investors to come and also see what are the new avenues. The government is here as a facilitator to ensure that investors come and invest and set up in those new sectors. And it's an opportunity to conduct research both with academia and the industry. So that's important, the research element. And I know through such projects, we are also looking at angel investors. Unfortunately, in Mauritius, we don't have many angel investors who would like, but the MRC has an incubator, national incubator scheme that would allow all those students who have brilliant ideas to develop the idea further with the right mentorship. And we would like that to become one of the big firms here. And also those who would like to transform it into a patent if they come across, if they have developed something which is very innovative, creative, they can also transform that into a patent. And I welcome, because number of patents being emanating from Mauritius is extremely low, practically nil. So it's very important that we think out of the box and go beyond what we are doing to be able to help the country, help the institution. I'm sure that apart from the IT, today we have the IT unit, we have other fields at PML that where students engage themselves with the industry. So I wish you all the best, PML, and the students once again, congratulations. Thanks to the industry captains who have allowed the students to complete their project, and I have the pleasure to declare the Capstone Showcase open. Thank you.
It is now my honor to request the Dr. Honorable Kaviraj Sharma Sukon to officially launch Capstone Showcase 2025. Thank you, Honorable Minister, for your inspiring address. We kindly request you to remain on stage to receive a token gift on behalf of Polytechnics Mauritius. Your words have reaffirmed the importance of our students' journey and the bright future that lies ahead in this dynamic field. Chanel,
Yes?
did you know that the token gift presented to our honorable ministers is art made from old electronics?
Really?
Yes. Our classmates, Michael and Hannon, took e-waste that usually gets thrown away and turned it into this cool artwork. Pretty impressive, right?
Yes. Oh, that's very cool.
We would also like to thank all our sponsors who have been very generous in supporting our event.
Shandy,
Yes.
are you as excited as me to see the projects that our friend have worked so hard to complete?
I am as impatient as you and everyone here.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you will find an e-brochure of the event through the displayed QR code. The floor is now open for you to explore the capstone project being showcased by our students. We encourage you all to interact with them. Do not forget to rate them through the QR codes.
We invite you to explore all the impressive projects displayed throughout our space, including those along both sides of the aisles. Please make sure to visit every class and don't miss the exceptional displays located at the far right, which are equally deserving of your attention. Enjoy your journey through our Museum of Projects.
Following your visit, we invite our guests to kindly proceed for refreshments. Have a nice evening. Thank you.